Hola, hi. Yesterday we had our second online Dreamy Cappuccino gathering, and we had really interesting subjects. A beautiful poem about a rook, beautiful art, but there was one main subject that was a question about anxiety in particular, how you can maybe use creativity to befriend your anxiety. I don't know, maybe that's too strong a word, but we had, it was really interesting. There was someone who was talking about certain approaches that are more art therapy that's used to deal with anxiety. I can't repeat it exactly, but it sounded very interesting. Also, that there's research, I heard about that before, that to doodle is something that calms down the mind. And I for sure know when I do my drawings, I just love it because it's so soothing. And there's something about working with color as well, and just taking your time, in my case, not knowing what's gonna appear, and so that's kind of real enjoyment. And also what we talked about is that the moment you're doing it, you're so much exactly that, in the moment, that you're just engaged in the drawing, you're just engaged in maybe choosing the colors, that your anxious mind doesn't have any where to go, or is just, brought to the present moment. So it was a very interesting discussion. And what I thought about is, I think it is great that there are these art therapy approaches, where you can directly use art and creativity as a way to deal with, let's say, difficult emotions and stuff like this. And I think there's a real place for it. At the same time, I want to make an argument for creating just for creation's sake. And the one does not exclude the other. But I think that if we use only creativity to kind of fix ourselves, we might lose out on the inherent joy that being creative can give to us. And when I was going for my walk today, I was thinking a little bit more about that, because I think the big difference might be really that in art therapy and approaches like this, there's still a little bit this idea, okay, we are broken, we need to fix ourselves, or it could sneak in there, versus learning to create from instinct, which I really love, because I really am a firm believer that our imagination gives us exactly what we need to work on. And usually it's a combo of a little bit of a challenge, but we are still enjoying ourselves. That's what I experienced all the time. And also, I think there is a little bit of a freedom if you not go immediately into analyzing mode. What does it mean I created, and taking yourself apart. I think there is a healing in creativity when you're just doing it for its own sake. You're doing it because you need to, because you want to express your soul, because it nourishes your soul, right? And then the thing, like the whatever it is, the anxiety or something, that there might be some healing that's just happening by itself while you're enjoying yourself. And I think there's another thing I wanted to address, is what is so beautiful when we create, whether that's painting a poem, or we are creating a character in acting, or in writing, as a matter of fact. If we really want to create, we need to bring open-mindedness and curiosity to things. And I think that's the big treasure. So when we go back to anxiety, and we can bring, we are creating something and our anxiety maybe comes onto the paper, or we create a character that's very anxious. And we can be curious about them, because if we are not curious and open-minded about our creations, then usually we kind of mess it up. It's essential. It's an essential tool of creating is curiosity and open-mindedness. And I think if we can bring curiosity to those really difficult emotions, there's a huge win, versus thinking, oh my God, I'm broken, I need to be fixed. That are two completely different approaches. And so I think that is a beautiful thing, to bring curiosity to things and to be open-minded. And there was one thing I remembered when I was years ago, when I was creating my second show, and I had decided I wanted to create a comedy, right? And so we always created this way, that we would improvise a lot and then see what comes up. And I remember very distinctively how shocked I was that I came up with these really dark stories. And I thought, oh my God, how is this going to be a comedy? But I just kind of needed to trust the process. And the challenge was, how can you make those dark things that did come up funny? And so I just really believe in creating from our instinct and intuition, because it gives us, it's exactly what we need as an artist, where we need to develop further. And I think the healing just comes on the side. We just need to be, courageous enough to jump into the unknown and see what unfolds and what, messages, I guess, it's got for us. So that was that. I would love to hear from you, how you relate to the subject, creativity and anxiety and all those things I talked about. This is Anja. Join me on the journey from hiding to thriving. Have a good day. Bye-bye.